Okay, let's jump into it. We know what we're doing. We know how to do it. And remember, in the last one, we talked about the Sculpt tool. Well, guess what, y'all? We're going to use that a bunch in this one. Okay, so let's zoom in and just see what we're working with out of the gate. Okay, I'm going to jump over into Sculpt mode. I got a push tool right here. You got a lot of different stuff right here. I'm just going to use the push, and I'm just going to kind of gently guide my outline to the contours of the moving buffalo. Okay. And if you need to make your brush bigger, we do that with F. Okay, and now look at that. Now it's a bigger bigger and stronger, and okay, pretty wild. So this, you can just see that this is just going to save some time. Now, there is a bit of a diminishing return. It's like, how much time does it save? You know, like here, it'd be a good idea to do it here, right? You know, like we got, okay, right, we got that. Bring this in right here. Okay, come around like that. Let me bring this forehead in a little bit. Okay, we can pop this horn out. Good horn right there. Bring this up a little bit. Bring this up a little bit. Got the ears moving. Okay, now this is what I mean when I say there's a law of diminishing return. Because it's good to push when you only have a little bit to push, and this is really going to help us throughout, right? Okay, so think about how long it took on the initial, and then all I'm doing here is just moving. I'm just moving these just because, right? You know, you want there to be some shake in the movements of our buffalo, right? So this is almost arbitrary at this point, and we'll add more to it. But you can see, it's like you got hair flying around, you got hair and fur flying around, so you want there to be some movement. You know, it's not static, okay? It's kinetic, it's dynamic. Okay, we haven't even drawn anything yet. We're just pushing stuff with sculpt tools, and sculpt tools are just the coolest, right? And we'll come down here, we'll do some of that. We'll straighten this out, bring that. We'll bring this over, right? Because we got some shadow on the ground happening. Now, you say, well, why aren't we doing that with the legs? And you can if you want to, but I don't want to. Okay. I want to draw these legs because this is just too far off. This is just too far off. This one is not too far off. So we can actually do this leg right here. That's okay. Bring that up. Bring that over. Like that. Like that. That, okay? And again, you see these green outlines right here? This is the onion skin. It's onion skinning. I'll put a link in the description, but it's just a neat process. It lets you know where you were. Okay? So like as you're animating, you can see where the previous line was in the previous keyframe. Now, I'm gonna click back over into edit mode, and then I'm gonna select this right here. And you can see all I did was click. And anywhere I click, because I have the line selected up here, all stroke points. If I just had individual stroke points, it would just be one, right? You can see, well, let me zoom in. So you can see I'm just selecting each individual stroke point, but this is the entire selection of the stroke from the time I put my stylus down to the time I lifted it up. Okay, so I want to select this right here, and then I'm going to shift this right here, and I'm going to just delete all the points. Okay, you say, why would you do that? Well, it's because I want to draw them fresh. Now, this line right here is a part that I want to keep, but this is something I want to get rid of. So let's break that line. Okay, all we have to do to break it is let's just delete one point, and now look what happens when I select this. Okay, because I broke it. So it when you go to select it, it just gets rid of, well, essentially everything, as long as it's connected. Okay, and all I'm doing is deleting some of the lines that I no longer want. Yeah, I guess I could delete that whole thing. That's no big deal. Okay, so I got rid of a couple of the legs that were a little wonky, just that would have required a little too much shifting and moving for my liking. But you know, we kept these. Okay, so be it. So we'll bring these over. We'll bring these up, and that's really it. Like these should go away. These should go away. You know, we'll get rid of that as well, and we'll get rid of those, and right here as well, you can see our background is kind of encroaching. And that's, well, that's a 10-yard penalty. So we'll go back into draw mode. Oh man, am I recording? Yeah, okay. We'll go back into draw mode, just like we've done 100, well, not 100 times, but you understand what I'm doing. We've got our line selected. We've got our black material on our line layer, and our pencil and our brush, and we're ready to go. And so now we're gonna, oh, you know what? I'm gonna put, I'll put a stroke stabilizer back on, and we'll do this leg right here. And then here's a fun little hoof happening, and then like that, and then we can get this going like that, like that. We've got, and so here's our back leg. Okay, and now let's shift middle click to get this area. Go right here. Here's one of the hooves of the thundering herd. And then we can come around here like that. Okay, and you see, look, if I was drawing something that needed to be much smoother, I would not be using the rough ink pen, but I'm doing a furry beast. Okay, I'm doing an absolute beast that is furry and hairy and made for the cold. Okay, when it's too cold for them, it's just right for us. And that is hashtag Marv Levy. If anybody wants a documentary that will hit you in the feels, I highly recommend Four Falls of Buffalo. It'll just give you, you know, it'll explain a lot about the ethos of who those people are and what they're about. And I'll tell you, man, they're good people up there. Okay, I'm going to turn my stabilizing stroke off, and I'm going to come up here a little bit, and now we're just going to start. Again, we're going to create some of that madness, okay? Because it's a furry buffalo. That is a lot of fun, actually. And then let's give him a couple more hairs up here. You know, he's just got a flowing mane happening. Really, just a wild animal. The buffalo is wild, man. Really, really, just a big fan. Okay, how about that? You know, I can't help but think that this is not part of the This is not, let me just come back here. Like, does the hoof end here or here? I'm going to say here. Okay, so let's get rid of that. We'll go this. No, I don't want to get rid of all of that. We'll just cut this off here, like that. We'll come back to lines, select that, and that, and that, and we'll get rid of it just like that. And then we can go back to draw mode, and we can close out the hoof. Okay, and we'll give it some ground right there. Great. Okay, and now let's jump back up to our other frame. Turn frame 1 off. So now we're looking at frame 2. That just feels better. I don't know about you, but that just feels better to me. And now we've got a background that seems to be, you know what? I'm going to turn my stroke stabilizer on. We've got a background that is moving as well, which makes complete sense because, you know, the Earth is not flat unless you're one of those flat earthers, in which case, read a book. So we're going to go here. Or just watch that Carl Sagan video, you know, where he showed how the ancient Greeks, Eratosthenes and Democritus of Samos, the ancient Greeks figured out how the Earth was round a long time ago. Had to do with the sun's reflection on a well and shadows disappearing at high noon on the solstice. Okay, and just like that, we've rotoscoped our second frame. What do we do? What do we do right now, everybody? You know what we do. We save our work, Control S, and let's move to the next one. So we're going to select our keyframe here. We're going to copy it. We're going to move 2 frames because we draw on the 2s, and we're going to paste it just like that. Now we're going to come up here and close out frame 2 and get frame 3. And you can see we're moving through space and time. And now, same rules apply. Let's go. Let's jump right into this son of a gun. You know what we're doing. Let's get our Sculpt tool. Start pushing stuff around. Right? We're working smarter, not harder. Okay? Like we already got it. So why are we making it harder than we need to? And the answer, lovelies, is that we don't need to make it harder than we need to. So we're not going to make it harder than we need to. Okay, we're just going to push this out like that, and we'll come in, and obviously when we're done, we can come in on top and add the touches. You know those touches. Everybody's got some touches. There's always touches to be made, right? And then this is moving forward, and then we wanna have some fun here, because we definitely want some variation, right? It's all about, what is life without variation? And whimsy, right? Life needs variation and whimsy. And then we got this horn up here, just like that. Okay. And then let's come over here, and then we've got some extension on the buttock, the hind quarters, the rear. What would that be? The chuck? No. Ground round? I don't know. I'm not that good with cuts, with choice cuts. Moving this up like that. Look at that, guys. We're flying. We're flying now. Nobody can stop us now. It's like that Queen song. You know that Queen song? I feel like I should remember that. Freddie Mercury was the man. Dude absolutely crushed it. Bossa Nova. Okay, so there we go. Very quickly, we've got a nice little outline for our newest frame, and now we're going to go into edit mode, and we're going to get rid of the stuff that bothers us, because, well, that's just, the best way to live a right life and build a just city is to get rid of the stuff that bothers you. So that's too much of a selection, so I'm going to get rid of these here, like that. And now when I select, come back to the line selection, and do that, it gets rid of that and that. Perfect. Okay. Now this image, we're going to have to take some creative liberties, but that's cool because we love creative liberties. This image, you know what? I need to push these a little bit more. These have not been properly pushed yet. There we go. Now they've been pushed properly. And I think this needs to be these two. Okay, this image is a little well, I've lost it. So we're just gonna have to ad lib because there's no, it's like the feet got cut off. I guess Muybridge cut some feet off. All right, let's just kind of leave that on there, and then let's have this one be flying back, I guess. Okay, we're taking some creative liberties. As you do, all right? I'm doing it. It's happening. Like that. Okay, a little bit, and then this one can be out. Like this. And we're just going to call that a creative liberty, okay? Because, well, that's what we had to do. Oh, we got to do the legs right here. Okay. Here, let's sculpt this over like that. Bring this back like that. Like that. Bring this up like that. Our guy's flying with the wind. Man, he's moving. Bring this over like that. Bring that down like that. Over like that. And now let's get rid of what we don't like, which is definitely all of this. Yeah, get rid of that, that's no problem. And then let's go and draw our leg. Bust this up a little bit, about 45. Stabilize stroke on, just a scotch. Okay. Let's get some here. And hey, if you're done with your cell, or your frame, and you want to move on to the next one, do it. You know, we should remember, repetition is the mother of skill. There's a reason we're doing what seems like the same thing a bunch of different times, even though it's different every time, but it's similar enough to where we can hit some adaptive recall, and we can really work on repetition, because repetition is the mother of skill. Okay, very nicely done. Frame 3, I'm calling it. All right, so now what do we do? We save our work, obviously, and we're going to copy our frame, Control C. We're going to move up on the 2s, so we go to 7. We're going to paste that son of a gun. We're going to hide our 3rd frame, and now we're moving forward. We're moving forward in space and time. And now we jump to our Sculpt tool, and we do it again. Okay, and that's great right there. So now I'm going to save this. Everybody saves your work. We are going to copy with Control C if you're on a Linux machine, or I think it's Apple key C if you're on a Macintosh. And let's move up 2 frames because we animate on the 2s, and we'll paste that in. Okay. And then we're going to get rid of frame 4. We're going to collapse that. We'll come to frame 5, and we'll begin. We know exactly what to do. We've done it 4 times now. Repetition is the mother of skill. We're about to do it a 5th time. And there we go. We've got it's starting to move, right? Okay. There we go. We've got a little motion happening.